All right, it's Wednesday, January 29th. Just wanted to follow up on the SPY. I discussed how I bought some puts here as it was kind of breaking down here to take out the lows of the day. And I discussed how I scaled out Sedgwick's trade. I watched this bar very closely here and I decided I wanted to exit. And just showing that now, we've had a big green bar to the upside. So, it makes some sense that on a, inside bar from yesterday after making 3 intraday pushes to new lows, but still being just inside, that you weren't really building momentum to the downside. Those options, I bought the 610 puts at 981. I scaled out at 1080, set up an overtrade. Then I was watching real closely. I exited the rest at 1080, and you can see here they're at 8 right now. So, it was just the type of thing where, you had an opportunity, to me, a pretty high probability price action to take out the lows of the day, but then it was just going to be a question of, are you going to build momentum to the downside and really end up with kind of a red day that could maybe become a 2 down day today, or maybe stay red by the end of the day and go 2 down tomorrow. We're really at this inflection point on this weekly chart. We gapped down early in the week. 3 days into the week, we're still heading higher. We're above the open, so we're still kind of biased to the upside, but we did reach a resistance point here, midpoint of the prior week, where if we can't really, get above that, it is possible to come back down and close this week negative. But in order for that to happen on the daily chart, we need some kind of a 2 down day or an inside day that breaks to the downside. So given this big reversal back up intraday, it looks more and more like we're just pausing here. We could possibly have, by tomorrow or even by the end of today, kind of a break up back to the upside. We could get through the midpoint of the prior week, and maybe by Friday we get all the way, an outside bar to the upside here. We take lower lows and we get, all week long we kind of move up towards those highs, even though we have 1 day of pause today. So again, I want to really see, with a little over an hour to go, how this bar closes. That'll kind of tell me a lot as to what maybe to expect going into tomorrow. But for now, in order for this weekly chart to reverse, we got to get some kind of downward break below the low of a prior day and start, trying to tackle that low. And so far, we're not doing that. It seems like we moved up a little bit into this gap, and it seems like we're just pausing here, and who knows how this bar is going to close. But if we stay kind of neutral here, we could be following through higher to the highs of last week as well. So anyway, just thought I'd follow up, given that I bought some puts here with that context in mind, just to show you how kind of the anatomy of this trade unfolded. But we're still, we don't really know what's going to happen here by the end of the day. But, like I said, this was a key little point here where you wanted to see whether we really followed through strongly or not. And at this point, we seem to have, hesitated, and at least at the moment moving back up. So we're going to watch how this daily bar closes with all that context in mind.